And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is Friday, December 5th, 2025. And to give you an idea, I'm in New York City. I woke up to 20 degrees. It's about 30 degrees right now, and I believe we're getting some snow tonight. Where I left, it's 84 degrees. Why do I live in Florida? There's your answer. Unbelievable what 1,000 miles will do. Hey, hope you're having a good day. In advance, hope you have a good weekend. Serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, and anything that's coming out of the Morlocks in Washington, D.C., on both sides of the aisle. Because as you know, our motto is, they all suck. How do we know? We're going to be at 40 trillion of debt in the next 6 months. Brought to you by both. And we are in particular appealed at this president because they had a wonderful opportunity to back out a lot of the Biden's Inflation Reduction Act that Biden admitted does not do anything in inflation. I also want you to recall the last big budget deal they did, they called it the, I don't even want to say, because I'll throw up. Our health care bill by Obama, the Affordable Care Act, it's laughable at this point. In case you all don't know, whether you're MAGA, whether you're independent, whether you're in the middle, whether you're in left, whether you're extreme left, you're all marks. I'm a mark. They're all con artists. And the latest con is, we're going to tackle affordability. You know what I say to them? Do us a favor. Don't be tackling anything. You all have put us into this position. And in case you don't know, the affordability problem is centered on housing, for starters, brought to you by our government. On tariffs, brought to you by our government. From printed money, brought to you by our government. But they're going to go fix it? This administration's running $2 trillion deficit this year, but they say, we're cutting it. It's just tiresome. It's depressing. And unfortunately, it's very tough to fight the machine. They are a machine. Remember the other part of the con, campaign finance reform. Remember that? You do remember that, right? They said they take money out of politics. Instead, they open the spigots where $1.5 billion Kamala Harris got to lose. $1.5 billion. And the war chest on both sides, huge. Unlimited amount of funds. We've been conned. And we're the marks. And I must tell you, I love everybody. I do. I want the best for everybody. But I have to tell you, for lack of a better word, disheartened when I see somebody so in love with this side and the other so in love with that side when both couldn't give a crap about us. The left, subsidies. They told us it was the Affordable Care Act. Why do you need subsidies? The right, tariffs are paid by China. Right. And now they're cutting the tariffs because prices have gone up. But they say prices didn't. It's just an insane asylum. And we're the marks. And I wish one day, and I don't think it's ever going to happen, everyone wakes up and has what we call the middle honest party. The one that champions an efficient, fair, effective government that doesn't run debt and deficits, that doesn't lie, thieve, steal, is not corrupt. Do you know a certain son of a certain president just created a company in the last 6 months, a startup, and got a $600 million contract with our DOJ? Nothing to see here. No. Everything's great. I rest my case. That's all. And just remember, we're your best friend. The people in the tank, I'm not going to call them enemies. Let's just call them not your friend. Why? Doesn't matter what their side does. Everything's great. They're perfect. It can be the worst in the world. Everything's fine. Some of the defense I've seen of both sides of the aisle in the last year, nauseating. Absolutely nauseating. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that we all wake up every morning trying to do better for ourselves and our families, work hard, learn, educate, lead, produce. And that's all. By the way, why do I sound frustrated? Because you want to have hope. You want to have a little bit of hope. And again, don't get me wrong. We have highlighted the border being shut. We love that. We like deporting bad people. We love that. We don't love anything of what they're doing right now. And do you know why? They're going to lose the election next November because of it. They're going to lose the election because of it. When you see a 75-year-old man picked up in handcuffs that has been here for 70 years, since he's 5 years old, and deported to a country that he's never been in, I don't care what you think, you're going to lose votes. Optics matter. And they don't seem to care. And of course, all of a sudden, it's cool to blow up boats. It's cool now to blow up boats of people that may or may not be, that we have to take their word for it. Okay, sure. Everything's cool now. To pardon a man who trafficked in 400 tons of cocaine. No problem. White-collar criminals that now don't have to pay restitution to people that lost millions. No problem. Everything's good. It's my guy. Biden pardons his family. No problem. He's my guy. We move on. So, by the way, this is Investor's Edge, serious talk on everything that affects you. We will do the markets, the economy, jobs, unemployment, taxes, deficit spending, scams, shams, corruption, you name it, we'll cover it. If you don't get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. Also on our X feed, and if you don't follow us on X, you should. We'll also post it on the YouTube channel of BizTV. And if you'd like to email me, just be nice. And ladies and gentlemen, I've gotten a lot of emails in the last week on Bitcoin. Interesting. Because when it was going up, I wasn't getting emails. Now that it's going down, I'm getting a lot of emails. And let me explain why. It's called the web. Being caught in the web. And what we're going to do in the show today is we're going to do a little market. We're going to cover crypto, what you're not being told. I'm going to give you a dose of reality, but also tell you we're not telling you what to do. We're not telling you to buy, sell, short, or cover. That'll be up next on this, the one and only Investor's Edge. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. So, by the way, I had Jahmyr Gibbs last night in my fantasy league and the kicker for Dallas. I played against the quarterback of Dallas as well as CeeDee Lamb. My kicker almost had more points than the quarterback. And unfortunately, CeeDee Lamb went down with a concussion. Man, oh man, I hope he gets well. And I also had the tight end for Dallas, who had 5 catches and also got a point on a 2-pointer. I had a very good night in fantasy. And you know what else? I was told by my buddy that everybody was betting Dallas. So you know what I did blindly? I bet Detroit, and of course I covered. Remember, in gambling, when the masses go one way, go the other way blindly. Maybe you'll lose some, but you'll win most of the time because gamblers lose. All right. So the Dow was up 100, NASDAQ up 73, NASDAQ 100 up 110. Advanced declines were actually negative on the NASDAQ, flat on the New York. You had a decent day in semiconductors. You had a decent day in the electronics, contractors, things like that. Reddit's acting better. Ulta Salon was up $65 on their earnings. Wow, I'm going to look those over on the weekend. The dollar stores are really strong. Some other retail pretty darn strong. Weakness, I will tell you, a lot of topping out of the very touted biotech and medicals. Mixed bag, but we're a stone's throw away from the highs. Stone's throw away from the highs. Not going to see me complain. Good action in the banks. Pretty darn. Goldman up another 16. For starters, Salesforce.com, that had a good reaction to earnings, been a brutal bear market, up another 13. Very good. And even Adobe, which is in a brutal bear market, that looks like it may have bottomed, so maybe a couple of big software stocks bottoming. But what I really want to do today is Bitcoin and crypto. So I don't want to go too far back because, you know, I just read somebody who bought $15,000 worth of Bitcoin, just sold for $1 billion. That's how far it's come. I mean, it started like at nothing. And we're not here to poo-poo that. I think that's fantastic. I'm jealous. But what we're here to tell you, I watched somebody on TV today talk about the fundamentals of Bitcoin and then couldn't explain the fundamentals of Bitcoin. I'm here to tell you that the last bear market, when we had a 30-some-odd% drop in the NASDAQ, Bitcoin dropped from 64,000 and change to 16,000 and change. I believe that's 75%. I'm here to tell you when that was going on, there were no big investment banks wanting in. I didn't hear any, did you? Did you hear any of them adopting it? Did you hear any of them coming out with ETFs for it? Did you hear any of them talk about the acceptance of it? I didn't. In fact, most of them said it was crap. And I'm using the nice word to describe crap. They use the other word. Fast forward. Bottomed out, rallied up. 124,000 recently. You know what's happened in the last year? Adoption. The same heads of these big investment banks, these big Wall Street places that told you it was crap. Hey, We just came out with a crypto so-and-so, come invest with us. What you all need to know, price moves Wall Street. What you need to know, Wall Street doesn't give a crap about you. Wall Street is often a bookie. When they put out a Bitcoin ETF, they make money no matter what. Well done. But we're here to tell you, just letting you know, what if 2 or 3 years from now, Bitcoin 1,000? What? What if it goes from 124,000 down to 1,000? Anybody think of that? Oh, let's not be that crazy. What if it goes from 124,000 down to 30,000? Do you not think it could? Because here's what I have to ask. And I would ask it to the head of JP Morgan, BlackRock, Blackstone, all of them. What is your value on Bitcoin? Give me a value. I saw somebody on TV talk about fundamentals and value today, and the person interviewing did not ask the simplest of questions. So how do you put a valuation on it? Well, they can't. All we're telling you is it's just based on what the next guy's willing to pay and in what size. What they have ended up happening is Bitcoin is a finite amount of it. Finite, not adding to it. And all the bulls are dependent on is somebody paying a higher price. The people that are betting it goes to 1 million, somebody's out there saying 13 million, yeah, go screw yourself. What's her face says 1.3 million in 4 years. Yeah, sure. 15-fold in 4 years. Yeah, sure. That's the ticket. What are they depending on? You catching my drift? None of them that are being foisted onto you, not one of them, are even talking about the chance that the last bear market took it from 64 to 16. Not one of them are even thinking about 124 down to 30. By the way, did they tell you 124 down to 85? Any of them? Because at 124, I heard there's a famous guy on that certain financial channel calling for 250 at the end of the year, which is now down to, I believe, 150, which would be 80% in a month, less than a month. You catching my drift? Risk management, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if it's going to 30. Risk management. We'll keep touching upon this up next on Investor's Edge. Okay, so let's continue. And by the way, in no way are we trying to bust your onions. In every way, we just want you to think. We just want you to think. So as you know, I just mentioned Bitcoin. But do you know somebody, as a joke, came out with something called Dogecoin? I don't know exactly when, but a bunch of years ago. I think it was 2020. It went from 0 to 64 cents. A worthless piece of crap goes from nothing to 64 cents. Drops back down to 6 cents. When crypto started to pick up again, it goes from that back up to 46 cents. And it was the talk of the town again, even though it could just be a piece of crap. It was made up. It is now gone from 42 down to 14. 14, 28, 40. Oh, it's down 66%. I don't know if it's going to go back up to 42. I don't even know how many there are. I couldn't care less. All I know is people are buying into this like it's a thing. And it's a nothing. There's no sales, no earnings, no product, no service. And this worries. As I had told you, they came out with 30,000 coins that never made it. Maybe even more than 30,000 coins at this juncture. I believe I mentioned to you that Dennis Rodman came out with the pot coin. And it's a zero. I believe that Mark Cuban came out with a coin and went to zero overnight. And as I am looking at my little list here, I have Bitcoin is worth $1.8 trillion. I have Ethereum 360. I'm just going down the line for a second. Ethereum 366, Tether 185, BNB, I don't even know some of these, 131, XRP 122. These are billions. Solana 132. 74 billion. Then it drops all the way down to 27 billion. Dogecoin, there's 22 billion of people's money in an inanimate object. And then I can run down a list like you wouldn't believe. There's 30,000 of them. They tried doing 30,000 of them. There are some out there that are worth just $1 million. Just $1 million. But they're out there. We're just worried at the end of the road. And there's a simple reason for that. There is a crap load. And I mean a crap load. And I mean a crap load of this stuff. I'm sitting here right now on my list. Number 400, I'm not going to give out the name, has $55 million in it. So there's still plenty out there that actually have a market. No function, just a market. And it just has me asking, I'm putting myself 10 years ahead. What do you think? Because I'm now at number 900 that actually has $13 million in it. By the way, some of the names of these coins are just laughable. No function at all, but widely accepted only because of price and fear and greed. And all I want each and every one of you is to be aware. That's all. Just be aware. How many stocks that have businesses, we have seen analysts have buy recs on it from $500 down to 50 and then change their buy to a hold. Fear and greed. And it'll come from all. The people you trust the most to the ones you don't. And again, not one time are we saying to you up or down. We're just feeling right now with the amount of emails we're getting that a lot of people own these coins and have bought in the trees. And now what should I do? That's what I am getting. This show and my thoughts are a product every now and then of extremes. I measure extremes by how many are asking and in contact with me. You know, we say to you, you're welcome on MicroStrategy. That had to do with the insanity of what this man is doing. The sheer insanity of the setup of what this whole company is about. And we warned you that the leverage will kill the stock if Bitcoin drops. And Bitcoin has gone from 124 to the 80s, yet if you're just to equate it, has gone from 124 to 40, if not less, because of leverage. The lessons that have not been learned. The simple lessons of how we almost went into the crapper in '08 because of a bunch of ass clowns who should have been indicted for fraud that did 3 and 5 and 10 to 1 on mortgage-backed securities, that all it took was a drop in housing prices where Ben Bernanke, the head of the Fed, who's been honored upon honored, said housing prices never go down, and we were supposed to believe him. And do you know, after he destroyed wealth, he was honored as like Man of the Year because he started printing money and got us to pony up $800 billion of our tax dollars given to the scumbags on Wall Street who caused all of it. And no one of them lost a job and most of them got promoted, are now billionaires. All is forgotten. Well, we don't forget. And we believe in measuring fear and greed, especially when it goes to the extremes. And I think greed for a lot of stuff has been getting to extremes. We've explained it in frothy no-sales stocks, no-sales biotechs, memes, Trump coins, Melania coins, Trump stock. Everybody's now a Bitcoin miner. SPACs that went down 100% and people got indicted and then got pardoned by the president, even though they were a bunch of crooks. You hearing us? You feeling us? Not one thing we are saying to you here is opinion. We are stating facts of movements in markets. Up next, the real world. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Ba-da-da. Da. All right. So, Fantasy League, I have the Baltimore quarterback that has let me down, Lamar Jackson, but I also have Herbert from Chargers, who had surgery on his left hand, but supposedly he's playing. I have a choice between the two this week. I don't know what to do. I'll figure it out tomorrow, but I really need a good game, and I'll be a lock to win, and it'll keep me in first place going into the last few weeks of our couch potato football league, and I really want to win the championship this year. No, really. Hey, the Dow this week was up 0.5%. The S&P this week was up 0.3%. The NASDAQ this week was up 0.9%. The NASDAQ 100 was up 1%. The Russell 2000, 0.8%. You thrilled? The Bitcoin, down 1.67%. And still remains in a bear trend. Just letting you know. It has not come out of it, though it has bounced a wee bit. And I will tell you, if it takes out the last 2 weeks' lows, look out. And that's just the Bitcoin. And it's actually by far the most liquid of these coins. So we'll keep informed. But I wanted to talk the real world. You see, and these are what we call DUH comments. You see, if I walked into a Home Depot this weekend, I can see if it's busy. I can speak to the store manager. Hey, how's business compared to last month? What's selling best? What's not? What's your feelings going forward? I can go on Zillow or Realtor.com and see that everybody is lowering prices and houses aren't moving and pending houses, sales, are going by the wayside. I can get a feel for the business. I can go to Walmart and see how busy it is. I'm going to go visit a Dollar Tree store. Hey, your stock is doing much better. What's going on? Well, as you know, the CEO just came out and said, we're even getting wealthy people coming in and spending. Well, how do you know they're wealthy? Well, we ask them. And we also look at the cars that come into the lots. Not hard to figure out. Interesting. It's called MEAT. MEAT. What else can we do? Well, we can go to the doctor, if we had to go to the doctor, and ask, hey, you have a feel for what's going on with these weight loss drugs? Oh, yeah. They're selling like there's no tomorrow. Really? And who's is selling best? Oh, okay. MEAT. Interesting. You catching my drift a little bit? Or I can get on a flight to New York last night and told that on a plane that I believe they can get 190, only 120. And I can ask the stewards, how's it going in the last week? Is it 60% full all week? What about going back to Florida? Okay. Or in New York City, I'll go to Del Frisco's on 6th Avenue. Hey, what's happening? It's heading to the holidays. You busy? Or you're not? MEAT. Just letting you know. I've never understood the no sales people, because they buy it because the stocks are moving. Terrific. But when you have so much meat out there, I don't get buying a no sales nuclear stock with a $25 billion market cap and then end up wondering, oh, why am I down 50%? No meat. Maybe one day we'll have meat. But in real time, it doesn't. I told you at the outset, this would be a lot of duh. D-U-H. And it is. It's duh. But you know what? There is a ton of froth, speculation, just because something is moving. And I get it. Want to get on that train. Maybe it's going to be the big one. I get it. Word to the wise. Keep stops in place. Never lose big. And know your company. Know your product. Know what you're dealing with. And think about meat. Remember our Kmart, Walmart, Target example? We nailed Kmart for every one of you before hell broke loose. Just by visiting 2 Kmarts in our vicinity that were left and went into dilapidation in front of our eyes. Dirty, no service, shelves empty, no help. While you walk into Walmart, the greeter, I think they still have the greeters, shelves full, lots of people, Kmart, empty. Again, the meat. That all said, you'll have a great weekend. Drive carefully. Hopefully we're helping. And when you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise they will be well. Always thanks for listening. Peace out all. Good night.